Hello everyone, this is Ether Dragon, and welcome back to another episode of Fire Emblem Heroes. As you can see, we have our new personal best lift for this week, but as we'll talk about, it could have been better, unfortunately. Oh, I guess fortunate? I don't know. So everything kicks off with this replay. Do you see what's wrong with this defense? If you figured it out already, because you play Ether Raids too much, Kappa. Self is in the 7th slot, so that screws over our scoring, which is kind of a problem because we're not trying to make the team good, we're trying to make the team score. So instead of being capped out at, I believe, minus 28 lift loss, we're capped at minus 38 lift loss, which is kind of a problem against this team. As you can see what they're planning here. They go for the smite play here and just take out Sylvia. And since they've already isolated our other dancer, they don't have anything to worry about. In fact, they can just casually leave because of Far Trace. And so, because of Crossbone Claws, they can just keep repeating this, and Nisala keeps proccing Gale Force, so he just gets super solid value here to again use Far Trace, or Near Trace I should say, to just completely leave. And Nils is still isolated, good play by them. The match is already over at this point, so this is literally going to do absolutely nothing. And Nisala just hidden like a Trek. Also, if you haven't noticed, we're using Legendary Lyn. Kind of completely forgot that she was an option during win season. Kind of because mine is plus attack minus speed, so you know it's kind of moderately questionable. But at least Sothis gets the proc miracle. I guess she did something, but yeah, she's never going to one-shot on the counter, so that's just a free kill. And absolute overkill against Sothis. Not like she was able to do anything regardless. But yeah, just a solid Nisala. The Near Trace with Gale Force and Crossbone's Claw. Super solid. Of course, the main issue is proccing Heavy Blade, as funny as that sounds, because there's some stuff out there, but at least he has a pretty solid speed. And of course, he gets Desperation while he's solo and transformed, so that's pretty solid. So of course, because of our mishap in placing our units in the incorrect slots, we ended up losing 10 more lift than we should have. And if you've watched the most recent Ether Raids offense video, we goofballed by, for one, forgetting that Peony could use Wings of Mercy to dance, which meant Joint Drive Attack was active, which meant Nino gets exactly one shot. So it was just terrible all around. And well, just a giant L for us. Thanks to Ice Mirror though, Ascended Fjorm does manage to survive. And she's going to proc Ice Mirror yet again. And of course, Bramon can't get his guaranteed follow-up attack. And she survives by 2 HP, which is fine. But Brave Erica is not as lucky because Ignis is incoming, and her damage reduction is not enough to save her. And then not just advancing because she can. They didn't break structure, so Yuri does not have immediate clearance to go attack. And they decide to hit end turn with their Ash. But she doesn't have like a breath skill to immediately proc her special. So Self is just going to pick up the 1-round KO. And even though there's Healing Tower, Self just one-shots Ascended Fjorm. And honestly, we got Vantage with Ignis ready, so someone's going to have to die. Maybe I doubt Legendary Edelgard can survive. That doesn't seem very likely. But you know, anything's possible. But yeah, those two goofs combined resulted in us losing 30 lift this season. So we could have been exactly, theoretically, at 21,300, which would definitely be a new record. And that's my stretch goal with my current offense team, because we are scoring plus 208 on offense. So we can get a good amount of lift. It's just that we have to do extremely well in defense in order to make that 21,300 plus score or lift. And also have to do well on offense, which we did this week. We had some solid matches for sure. Definitely enjoyed this week's offense matches, but yeah, we were trying to flex too hard in the last episode. That's what happens. I remember, it just reminds me of that one match we had against a flyer ball of sorts, and we were up like, it was the lava map. This was a super long time ago, by the way. Also, not entirely sure why they just assumed the trap was not real. Yeah, I'm not sure about what their play was there, but moving on. But yeah, lava map, and we forgot about, were running air on their defense with Mystic, or not Mystic Boost, Sparkling Boost, so I forgot about that 10 healing. I don't remember if I forgot about New Year Gunthra's Hikami debuffing. I can't remember that part, but all I remember was we were trying to flex too hard against that defense and overlook something. That's usually what happens when you try and flex, but that's why we try flexing every match by not activating traps and destroying all the enemy structures, including breakable walls, because it's just good practice to learn how to, I guess, learn how to flex properly. Because when you do want to flex, you need to be able to know how to execute, because it can definitely add a different layer of problems. And not entirely sure what their idea was here. But, yeah. Selv's got Ignis. So he just straight up one-shots on the counter. And, well, they can't really do anything. The Bolt Trap definitely didn't help their cause. At least it set up Brave Lysithia, but that's about it. And now it's just time for our units to rampage, but instead Nils decides to dance, or attack because he can. So Nils getting another kill. It's been a long while since that's happened, but AI things happen, and that's all the kills we get that turn. Dogger unable to one-shot Legendary Lyn. And again, you know, she's minus speed. So it's just a testament to the Swift Mulligar Refine. Allows us to say 2 and joint charge speed. Also, Dagger is below 25%, so her weapon is not proc at all. Besides Pathfinder. And Nils picking up yet another kill. Because Nils is trolling. And Winter Altina able to exactly two-shot Self, even if she couldn't proc her special. And Bramlon gets the snipe down Peony. So, not great news if they're trying to at least win the match. But there's a Miracle Sothis left, so they can't really do anything at this point. Unless, you know, they could theoretically one-shot Sothis with Twin Blades and then attack again to pick up the kill. Totally feasible because it's Sothis. So here we go again with another classic save defense. This team is not strong on damage output, so it actually does get walled by good save shenanigans. And this is a pretty decent team. Although, of course, Dragon and armor effectiveness definitely cripple Duo Thune when she's up against Duo's hindrance teams, which is basically what you should be expecting, not a team like mine where you can just get free real estate. But we have this skill called Even Pulse Tie, so Ascended Fion's going to take quite a bit of damage here, but she is going to heal and survive. Seliph, absolutely no match for Duo Thune. And, you know, he survives, which doesn't mean anything. Bramon gets to attack again, but at this point, he is out of push range, and Ice Mirror is ready, so he's just not going to kill. He had no chance of killing there, and so they're just going to heal again. But of course, Ascended Fiorm is pretty low in health, so they do need to do things here. They take out Not with Legendary Edelgard, and now she can move again. Seliph for that 3 points advantage. So bad. 58 damage, not bad. And they decide to hit end turn here, but of course we all know that that's going to be a problem because Legendary Lyn has Luna, and now 16 HP. That is not enough to survive, and so now Legendary Lyn can do some things. Two-shotting Legendary Edelgard because, well, she's adjacent to allies, so kind of a problem for her. Sylvia just gonna potato, and well, ripperonis because they lost 2 units there. And here we have a classic, more offensive team. Definitely a good idea against my particular defense. Oops. Because in general, you can face tank, but it's not recommended. They do have safety fence here, so this is a completely safe play to make. Of course, if this doesn't have Miracle Up, even if she had Miracle Up, she was dying regardless. Because it's Sothis. So, I mean, what are you going to do about that? And, well, they decide to proc the free Bolt Trap. And they do make the smart play here of not breaking structures, because that just gives them more space. Because this is one intentional thing we do. The structures, on one hand, it discourages people for going after the catapult turn 1. But honestly speaking, we don't actually care if they break the catapult, because bolt tower damage is generally pretty irrelevant against this defense. Unless you have some real damage output issues, which you shouldn't. Maybe like against Seliph, if you're trying to melee him, then sure, you might need some extra damage output. Or maybe even if you're against Divine Tearfing with mages, maybe, I guess. I know for sure Nino has a problem against Seliph regardless, so Bolt Tower just doesn't matter, but Legendary Lyn, no match for Duo Corrin, and I mean, are any of our units going to be a match against Duo Corrin? Really only Seliph, if, you know, he actually had res buffs and he doesn't, so with Luna, you're just gonna pick up the one shot here. You know, especially with Desperation or something, that's just an easy 1-round KO. Which is why we need Deflect Magic, Capo. And now they are going for the classic flex of breaking all the structures, but they activated the Bolt Trap, so they failed, Capo. It is actually an interesting challenge to not activate enemy traps for sure. But there we go, just a clean sweep. solid play, not breaking those ornaments so they just get more space to just keep hit and running. Except at some point it just became hit and hit some more. And here we are again with another duo Thune. Kind of surprised that we've seen 2 already this season, which is kind of interesting. They do have safety fence on column 5. It's a pretty popular column for it during light season, especially because there's no Dumas or anything to ruin their day more consistently. But of course now escape ladder is off, but they can still go in for the attack if they want to. But they're just taking some time to set up, which is perfectly fine. They don't really have anything to lose because once you bait, things go pretty fast if you have the damage output. So they're gonna go attack with Yuri here. Thanks to disarm trap, it's just a free kill on Nils. And they have pulse smoke, so that's super nice. Although honestly speaking, they just survive regardless. Even if there isn't pulse smoke, so it doesn't really matter. Because what is Lyn going to do? What was Lyn going to do with Luna? Not very much in general. And then, you know, Bremon's doing 0 times 2. So that's a perfect representation of how things were going to go. Of course, you know, there wouldn't be the Sacred Cowl proc. But, yeah. Not great. And of course, Seliph wouldn't be able to proc Ignis anyways here, so it was kind of like pointless in some sense, but you know, a kill's a kill. It's just a free kill, so why not go for it anyways? Yeah, this team just does not have a lot of damage output because a lot of the specials are Luna, and Luna is not a special that helps out your damage output if you don't have a massive attack stat. And, well, you might argue our units have a decent attack stat, but in ether rates, having 80 attack or something is pretty meh. You need to be in the 100 plus range to be really threatening kills, unless, of course, you have like harmonized Catria shenanigans to quad or something, then you might not need as much attack, but you can never really have too much attack to take out tanks. And well, at this point it's just GG because our team is predominantly range-based damage, so if your far save unit is competent, it's typically just a free win. And there we go, 84. And here we are with this team. This team is basically Dual Lyn plus company, and we'll see how Dual Lyn does here. I haven't watched this replay. They're running Wind Sweep, which is cool, I guess. So, you know, Seliph is not a threat in terms of countering, but can she one-round KO Seliph? That is the question. Because if she can't, that is burning, that is burning too many actions. And then there's also the problem of Dual Lyn probably being unable to one-round KO Sothis because of Miracle. And because of Wind Sweep, she can't quad, so yeah, definitely not one-round KOing here, which is just going to be a problem for them later on. So, well, Sothis, you know, I guess sets up Desperation Kappa. In classic Sothis fashion, only helping out the opponent. And well, just AI things here, so. So, like the previous, or the replay, was it 2 replays before now? They don't break the structures, so that gives them more space, but let's see what they can do here. They just run, which indicates that Sudden Panic is doing things, or they just want to get a better position to hit and run. Because now Not kind of just moves behind. So from the looks of it, they are actually unable to one-round KO Seliph, which is bad for them because again, it takes up an action. And they decide to kill like this, which is questionable. I would have taken out Bramamon first, then used their duo skill. But this works as well. Picks up the kill on Bramamon, and they just hit end turn, which we all know is a huge problem because Not is a melee unit without an assist. So we're gonna have something's going to happen where she moves first and Pathfinder happens. So Lyn taking out Lyn, and yeah, I think she'll hit her mark. So that's just a revenge kill, and now they don't have very much offense, and they even activate the bolt trap for us to damage themselves, so that's just not a great scenario to be in. And last but not least, we have this team. It's been quite a long time since we've seen this in a while, but this is a Brave Clawed tank set, and there's near save support in the form of Gustav. So of course the gimmick with Brave Clawed is he heals for 50% of his max HP whenever he procs a special. Now of course things like Guard is a huge problem for Brave Clawed on top of Fatal Smoke. That is just, well, fatal. So our team has neither of those things, so they're just free to hit end turn here, and they hit the ruse just for some debuffs. And here they go. Bramamon just going to attack with Luna, so he's going to do a good amount of damage, but with Clawed's Ruiner, he's just going to heal back a nice 34 points of HP. Seliph, of course, is no match for Gustav because he can't proc his special. If he could, you know, Seliph still would have missed a kill, but because Ignis does not do that much damage. But, you know, it would have been fine. Kappa. Of course, Soth is not helping us out and having Lyn get taken out by Brave Clawed, but Not would have, or not, Dagger would have picked up the kill on Legendary Lyn if she was still on the right side of the map anyways, so it doesn't matter. But Soth is just going to survive a shot, but that's about it. Literally all Sothis is going to do doesn't help her at all. She just doesn't have enough going for her. She doesn't have no follow-up. She doesn't have special acceleration outside of Times Pulse and Wrath in her base kit. And of course, she doesn't have enough stats. She especially doesn't have enough HP, which for a healing special like Sirius, you kind of want HP to supplement it, because if you don't have HP, you can't heal if you're dead. So it's just GG at this point. It's not like we were going to be able to do anything here. Of course, if we had like Legendary Crom with Deadeye, at least we would have given them a run for their money. Because of course, Brave Clawed's defense, even though he has Eye Out Shield here, his defense is not the highest, and at least he's debuffing by 7 attacks, that's something, but at full HP, of course, he gets debuffed by Rangreether, but it's not water season, so not a thing. And with that, that's the replays for this week. So as you can see, of course, we lost 10 extra lift here, but you know, with that 10 extra lift at the beginning of the season, we probably would have gotten different matchups with the matchmaker. So, of course, practically speaking, we probably couldn't have reached 21,300 because we did get lucky with timing of matches, because our failures just happened to occur when we were under lift loss protection. So, we did luck sack this week, of course, to get here, but sometimes that's what you need to get a super high lift. And of course, we're always going to be trying to do better every week in terms of lift personal best. Lift PB as I like to call it. But yeah, we're just gonna absolutely potato next week. We're just gonna goofball because I mean, we have Ignatz, Yenfei, or Alphonse as our options, and none of them are going to be particularly useful. Not to mention, we don't have Thor or Saros, in particular Saros, so we're gonna suffer on defense. It would be an absolute miracle for us to make it stay in Vault. So we're probably just going to intentionally drop out, just goofball with the team and call it a day. The Vault streak ends once again, but that's pretty typical because we only stay in Vault if we can actually go ahead and get a nice bonus unit to use. Just out of convenience, because of course, theoretically, we can still make it without a super strong bonus unit, but it's just more time consuming and whatnot. And yeah, unfortunately here we're a bit outside top 1k, but it is, again, not water earth season, so that's a given. We just kept getting a lot of minerals, so I was like, there's no point in trying, because the amount of effort just to say, oh, I got top 1k again, is really for the 1,000 feathers. The 5 coins and 5 refining stones is pretty pointless at this point. Because we kind of have a few refining stones. And we mostly just want feathers. Sacred coins, you know, you can never have too many, because my super stretch goal is to have every single seal maxed out. And we actually are catching up to the number of seals. Like, we're finding more seals than we're getting because of the Tempest Trial change from way back, where we only get 2 seals a Tempest Trial compared to the old 3. So we're definitely getting there. It's gonna take a long time still. Only a few more 1,000 sacred coins to go. But yep. I guess voting gauntlet. Is it time? Yeah, it's time. It's time to burn some ballots here. So let's go ahead and do it on video for absolutely no reason, and just for the fun of it. And yeah, just for the fun of it, what do we want to do? Let's just go ahead and bait out Legendary Violet with Garnet, because that totally makes sense. But oh, we have animations on. This is awkward. But yeah, we're just doing this for the fun of it. We would normally do this off video, but you know, we're goofballing. So we're just going to revenge kill there. And now we should be safe from actually losing. We'll just have Legendary Marth go die pretty much, because it's not like he stands a chance against Brave Dimitri. Not without his refine and stuff, so go ahead and bait here. And yeah, Leguarn's just gonna carry us here. Pretty solid. Her refine's pretty okay. Definitely could have been much stronger, but you know, no follow-up is nothing to scoff at. And well, Blue Flame doing Blue Flame things. So there we go. We can go out all out with our 8 ballots here, because we are on Garnet's team, so we're just gonna have bonus. We just have bonuses for days. I don't think Legendary Lyn has gotten a single bonus yet, because their team's like 10 times larger than ours or something. I don't know the exact number, but yeah, we're probably gonna lose, but we're getting all the bonuses, so who's actually winning at the end of the day? But anyways, we'll be back when the results drop in. Whoops. Alright, here we go. Top 500, that's cool. Yeah, it's pretty insane how much you have to score to rank beyond or higher than top 1k. But yep, we're gonna suffer this season. It's Earth and Winds. We're probably just gonna goofball this season on both sides of the spectrum. What could possibly go wrong? And yep, there's not top 1k in arena assaults, but we're gonna have to probably try a little bit to make it back into tier 21. It is Earth season at least, so we can score bot that way. But yeah, 1.2k, that seems about right. That's pretty typical. But yeah, other than that, Voting Gauntlet is farming bonuses, and that's gonna be it for this episode. Thanks for watching. As always, this is Ether Dragon, and hope to see you all next time. Bye!